So I've been really blessed in my life to be able to grow up with 4 living grandparents. And to this day, at 21 years old, I'm still able to spend a lot of time with my grandparents on a regular basis, which is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. But it also has given me a chance to really appreciate the benefits of being around people who are older than me as a young person. So in this video, I want to highlight what I think are the 3 biggest benefits that young people like myself can receive from spending time around and talking to people who might be decades, 60, 70 years older than us. So without further ado, here are 3 reasons for young people to talk to old people. Reason number 1, old people are wiser than us. I mean, obviously this sounds pretty cliche, but when we really think about it, it's pretty profound. I mean, think about yourself and think about what you were like last year compared to what you're like now. I bet you would say that you're a lot smarter this year. You know more, you've seen more of the world, you have more life experience. And I bet if I had to ask you what you see yourself as in a year, you'd probably say that you could see yourself being a lot wiser and smarter in a year. Now, multiply that by 60 or 70 years. Imagine just how much wiser you're going to be by the time you reach 80 or 90. It's crazy to think about. So because old people have this wisdom, we can kind of imbibe this wisdom by being around them. We can kind of soak in their life experience and really grow in understanding of the world ourselves. So now for reason number 2. Old people connect us to the past. What's history for us, what we learn about in textbooks, in school, older people always will remember as part of life for many, many things in history. I mean, all 4 of my grandparents were alive during World War II. And growing up, I would always talk to both my grandfathers about World War II because they both have memories from it. And it's really cool. World War II, for me, has always been something you read about in a history book. But for them, it was something they experienced, they actually went through. Old people connect us to seeing how people used to live in a way that we can't get from a book. And here I'm actually going to put a bit of a spin on this too, and say that in some ways, the way that people used to live, especially now, 50, 60 years ago, was more wholesome and happier than the way we live now. I mean, just listen to the kind of music people used to listen to. Sinatra, Dean Martin, Perry Como, Jimmy Durante. You could feel the happiness coming from those people. Compared to the music that people listen to today, you just don't get that same sense that the singers were just happy to live. And you just get that sense when you watch the TV from the old times, you watch the movies, old movies, you just get this sense that people were happier back then, whatever it was. So that's why I, especially today, love talking to people from previous generations, because you can learn from them to learn how to be happy. And now for reason number 3. Old people remind us of our mortality. Now I know it may sound like this video just took a dark turn, but it's true. We are all going to die. We are all going to decay. The youthful vigorness that I have or that you may have right now, it's not going to last forever. I just did a really long run yesterday. I'm not going to be able to do that in a couple decades. That's just life. And I think when we look at people who have lived a long life and, maybe they don't have the same youthful vigor that they used to have, but they still have that same kind of youthful energy and how happy they are in their kind of their appreciation of life. That's where I think we can really learn from old people that losing your physical vitality doesn't mean you have to lose your spiritual vitality. It doesn't mean you have to lose your good outlook on life. Being around happy old people reminds us that we don't have to be physically strong in order to be happy. As long as we live a good, substantial, wholesome, holy life, we can look back on our life when we're old and just feel pure joy. And that's why I cherish the time I get to spend around people who are older than me. And honestly, I look forward to being that age myself, when I can have that same level of wisdom and a sense of history and a pure joy that I notice people who are older than me having. And thank you for watching this video. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel and anything else that you would like to do to make sure this channel grows. Thank you, and God bless.